Welcome to the Local Integrated Family Teams video, an introduction to sensory awareness. This video will cover information about our different senses and their uses, behaviours that can occur with sensory sensitivities, and how to adjust support to reduce and prevent behaviours that challenge. Our bodies have 8 different senses. 5 external senses that most of us are familiar with: visual or sight, tactile or touch, oral or taste, olfactory or smell, and auditory or sound. These senses help us experience our surroundings, connect with memories and emotions, and most importantly, stay safe by detecting dangers. There are also 3 internal senses: vestibular, proprioception, and interoception. Vestibular is the sense of balance and movement. It allows us to know if we are moving and in what direction, even if our eyes are closed. The receptors are in our inner ear. It is the organizer of all other sensory systems. It helps us to build our strength, maintain our balance and stability. Children may seek lots of movement, such as spinning, swinging, jumping, or rocking, to help their brains feel steady and focused. This can sometimes be mistaken for hyperactivity and may affect their balance, coordination, and attention. Proprioception is our sense of body awareness. It tells the body where it is in space. The receptors are in the muscles and joints and are activated during heavy work. Proprioception can include chewing, jumping, climbing, pushing, and pulling, and supports us with dressing ourselves and to maintain personal hygiene without using too much or too little force. Children who seek proprioceptive input often look for harder, crunchy food textures or items to chew, deep pressure or heavy physical activity because it helps them feel calm, organised and grounded. Interoception is our internal sensory system. It gives us clues as to what we are feeling, such as our body temperature, hunger levels, bladder and bowel control, sickness, and our emotions. Interoception tells us how our body feels and what it needs, such as when our stomach grumbles, we are hungry. Simply, vestibular, proprioception, and interoception work together to help children feel balanced, aware of their body, and in tune with their internal needs. Sensory differences are related to our brain's ability to process information from all of our 8 senses. Children or adults with sensory differences can often become overwhelmed by things like light, noise, or smells, and might act out or display behaviour that challenges as a result. A person can display a fluctuating sensory response, often due to changes in anxiety, excitement, tiredness, or stress. Being hyper-responsive or over-responsive to our senses means a person may respond more intensely to sensory information. For example, they may react fearfully or become distressed to loud sounds. Being under-responsive can also be known as hypo-responsive. If we are hypo-responsive, a person may register sensations less intensely than normal and not always understand how to react. For example, a person may not recognise that they are in pain or that they need the toilet. The sensory iceberg helps us understand that the reactions or behaviours we might see is not the full story. There is often much more happening beneath the surface. Reactions and behaviours often seen are crying, screaming, stimming, aggression, running away, removing clothing, hurting themselves or others. What people don't see lying beneath the behaviour is feeling hurt or pain, having a diagnosis, suffering with anxiety, having an empty social battery, having too many demands, feeling overstimulated, seeking sensory input, feeling too hot or too cold, feeling unwell, being unable to communicate needs, avoiding sensory input, feeling irritated by clothes, or being unable to cope with change. In short, sensory differences make it hard for the brain to process input, causing over or under reactions that change with stress or mood. Visible behaviours often mask hidden needs that children have trouble communicating. It can often be tricky to tell if children are having a tantrum or a meltdown. Tantrums are a child's way of expressing frustration or anger. Tantrums tend to stop if the child gets what they want, changes their tactic, or someone responds differently to them. Meltdowns are an involuntary response to sensory overload. Meltdowns are likely to continue even after the person gets what they want, unless it is an item that helps soothe their sensory system. Meltdowns can usually be ended by finding a quieter environment or responding differently. In short, tantrums are intentional and stop when needs are met, while meltdowns are involuntary and only stop when the environment or support changes. It requires careful observation and knowledge of your child to identify if their behaviour is due to sensory differences and what support they need, whether it is more stimulation, reduced demands, or a change in situation or environment. To help children cope, reasonable adjustments can be made. Reasonable adjustments are changes made to help a person manage and thrive, such as having opportunities for a child to debrief at the end of the day if they have any worries or concerns, providing a quiet area for a child to eat in if they have any sensitivities around food or noise, or providing opportunities for structured sensory breaks throughout the day. Adjustments support children by meeting sensory and emotional needs. In summary, our bodies have 8 senses, 5 external and 3 internal. These senses help us perceive the world, enjoy experiences, and stay safe. Children with sensory differences may be over-responsive, react strongly, or under-responsive, notice less, to sensory input. Behaviours like crying, aggression, or withdrawal often reflect underlying sensory or emotional needs. Careful observation will support recognising sensory differences and what reasonable adjustments can be put in place. Come and join us to find ways to support your child's sensory needs in our Supporting Sensory Differences workshop. Thank you for watching. This video was created by the local integrated family team, a multidisciplinary team for Denbighshire County Council, Conwy County Borough Council and Betsy Cadwaladr University Health Board Wales.